Sinner comes before you. Cersei of House Lannister, mother to His Grace King Tommen, widow of His Grace King Robert. She has committed the acts of falsehood and fornication. She has confessed her sins and begged for forgiveness. Eyes of gods and men to make her walk of atonement.
She walked through the streets naked, a bell behind her ringing with every step, a woman screaming shame right into her ear. Thousands of people spitting, throwing filth, laughing at the most powerful woman in the Seven Kingdoms while she stumbled barefoot through the city she used to own. Most people remember Cersei's walk of atonement as her lowest moment, her humiliation, the day the faith finally broke her. But what if it didn't break her at all? What if that walk was the exact moment she decided every single person watching her was going to die? Because the woman who reached the bottom of those steps wasn't the same one who started at the top. And by the end of this, you're going to see that the wildfire wasn't an act of desperation. It was a decision. The moment Cersei Lannister stopped trying to survive the game and chose to end it instead. To get how massive her revenge was, you first have to see how completely the world had written her off. She wasn't just losing. She'd been stripped of her power, locked in a cell by religious fanatics, and abandoned by her own son. Margaery Tyrell had whispered her way onto the throne and turned the crown against his own mother. Her trial was coming.
Trial by combat will be forbidden throughout the Seven Kingdoms.
And her one way out, trial by combat, had just been banned by Tommen himself.
You've lost, Cersei.
On paper, she was done, cornered, out of moves, every door shut. And that's the trap the whole city walked into. They all assumed a cornered animal is a beaten one. But here's the thing people forget about human beings. Someone who still has something to lose will negotiate. Someone who has already lost everything will burn the whole place down. The Sparrows took her power, her dignity, her freedom, her children. They left her with nothing, and nothing is the most dangerous thing you can ever hand a woman like Cersei. Watch how the show tells you she's changed. After the walk, she stops scheming out in the open. She stops fighting the faith on their terms. She just goes quiet, still, cold, and everybody reads that as defeat. It's the opposite. When a character who's screamed and fought for 6 seasons suddenly goes silent, that silence is never surrender. That's the sound of a decision being made. She had Qyburn dig up something buried under the city. Caches of wildfire.
Caches of wildfire all over the city.
That volatile green stuff the Mad King Aerys hid beneath King's Landing decades earlier, back when he'd rather torch the whole capital than hand it over. Sit with that for a second, because it's brilliant.
Burn them all, he kept saying.
The Mad King's final plan, the one Jaime killed him to stop, the one that earned Jaime the name Kingslayer and a lifetime of being hated for it. That exact plan is the one Cersei finishes. The fire meant to end the city under Aerys becomes the weapon that saves Cersei under nobody's orders but her own, a loop closing across 2 generations. Now the day of the trial comes, and this is where the show does something incredible, because almost nothing happens. No fighting, no screaming, no action, just people walking into a building, doors closing, a boy staring out a window, a little kid crushing a beetle under his shoe, wine being poured, footsteps on stone, and under all of it, that score, Light of the Seven. First time in the whole series the music uses a human voice and a piano, and here's why it works on you. For 6 seasons, this show scored its big moments with drums and strings and huge swelling brass. Loud, triumphant, familiar. So the second the music drops down to one lonely piano, your gut knows something is wrong before your eyes catch up. The music is telling you something is broken before you can even see it. This is suspense in its purest form. Alfred Hitchcock explained the difference between surprise and suspense perfectly. Surprise is a bomb going off with no warning. Suspense is showing the audience the bomb under the table, then making them watch 2 people have a calm little chat sitting right on top of it. Real quick before we get to the explosion. If you're enjoying this kind of breakdown, do me a favor and hit that like button, and subscribe if you haven't yet. Okay, back to the bomb, because that's the whole sequence. We see the wildfire. We see the candles burning down toward it. And then we're stuck watching everyone stroll into the Sept with no idea, while the clock we can see and they can't ticks all the way down. So, think back to that bomb under the table. The candles are dripping down toward the green fire, and the camera drifts across the room. Look who's sitting right above the blast. Every single person who ever crossed her. The High Sparrow, smug in the same authority he used to strip her naked in front of a city. Margaery Tyrell, the rival who stole her son's love right out from under her. Her own uncle Kevin, her snake of a cousin Lancel. The entire religious, military and money power of the capital packed into one room. By her design, they think they're there to judge her. They have no clue they just walked into a slaughterhouse, and only one person in that room is sharp enough to feel it.
Cersei is not here.
Margaery. Watch her face. She clocks that Cersei isn't there, and something cold moves behind her eyes. She gets it instantly, the thing the High Sparrow is too drunk on his own power to see. Cersei would never miss this. She'd never give up the chance to watch her enemies condemn her to her face, to play the victim, to perform. Unless she was never planning to show up at all. So Margaery stands. She tells them they have to get out. She's the only one who reads the board right, and it's brutal writing, because Margaery spent the entire show being the smartest manipulator in any room she walked into. Her last act is being the only one who spots the trap, and it doesn't save her. The sparrows block the doors. The fanatics she helped put in power won't let anyone leave. Faith beats brains, and they all die for it. Below them, a candle burns down to the very bottom, touches the green, and the city shakes. One explosion, and nearly every enemy she has in the world is gone. The High Sparrow, gone. Margaery, gone. The leadership of House Tyrell, gone. Kevin, gone. Lancel, gone. The great Sept of Baelor, the holiest building in the Seven Kingdoms, wiped off the map in a tower of green fire that lights up the whole sky. She didn't lose her trial. She just made sure nobody was left alive to hold it. But here's the part the spectacle hides from you. The real ending of this story isn't in the Sept. It's back in the Red Keep. Because Cersei did all of this for her kids. Every cruel move, every scheme, 6 seasons of it. She told herself it was to protect Tommen, Myrcella, Joffrey. The Wildfire was supposed to be the moment she won it all back for her son. And this is where the show goes for the throat. It just handed you the loudest moment in the entire series. A city-shaking blast, a pillar of green flame, hundreds dead in a heartbeat. And then, to finish Cersei off completely, it gives you total silence. Tommen, watching from his window, sees his wife is dead. His faith is gone. His mother is a mass murderer. No music swells up. Nobody screams. He just takes off his crown, sets it down, walks to the window, and steps out. The biggest win of Cersei's life, and the worst loss of it, happens seconds apart, and the loss comes without a single sound. The fire roared. Her son fell in silence. She killed all her enemies and lost the only reason she had to kill them, in the same afternoon. That's the cruelty the writers built into it. She finally grabbed total power, and in that exact second, power became the only thing she had left to hold. The throne she takes at the end of that episode, she sits on it completely alone. So go back and watch it again with this in your head. The walk wasn't her defeat, it was the fire that forged her. The silence wasn't surrender, it was a verdict. And the explosion wasn't a victory. It was the precise moment Cersei Lannister won the Game of Thrones and lost every reason she'd ever played it. She burned them all, and the fire took the last thing she loved right along with them. So tell me, was this the smartest political move anyone ever pulled in this show? Or was it the final proof that Cersei became the exact monster she spent her whole life fighting? Pick a side and tell me in the comments. There's no neutral answer here, and where you land says a lot about how you really see power.